You didn't think I would play a 10 minute plus song to intro the stream now, would you? You wouldn't think I'd do something that insane. But I did. It's the last stream until probably like 7 days from now. Last live stream for the next like 6 or 7 days, depending on how you look at the math. So I'm pulling out all the stops, and one of those stops is a 10-minute plus long intro song. But we had to do it. I was feeling it. I was looking through my list of music, and I was like, you know what? We gotta play some Mumineko music. And those tracks can just last forever. If you find them on like streaming or something, usually like if you find like a full track, they usually like repeat twice, so you could get away with like cutting it in half almost. But I was like, no, let's sit here and let that thing blast. But yeah, as I said, last stream for a while now. As I keep saying, I did a pretty good job. If you're watching these on VODs on YouTube, you probably won't even notice any disruption. Except for maybe like a day. There might be a day where there's not an upload. But that's fine. A day without an upload from me on my channel is... everyone will survive, including myself. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great Monday. This game contains violence. Be wary of that. And we're just gonna read for a bit. Oh, I forgot to do something. Ah, shit. One sec. I gotta get into the habit of doing it. What is it I'm doing? You'll never know. There we go. Okay, sorry for that disruption. It's a mystery to all what I'm talking about. Okay, so welcome to the stream. What did I won't be here for a while. I got that. But I'm excited to come back. Once I'm done, back from my trip, I'm excited to come back to the channel because we'll be starting some new stuff. We'll be wrapping up Raging Loop, you would have to assume, at some point. I'm excited for both of those things, both new things and finishing things. Let's see. Let's do a recap, yeah? I think we read for an hour or so last time, because it was tacked on to the end of the yesterday stream. We sat through another round of the game, another round of the feast. Numbers dwindling. The non-wolves struggling to nail down at least even one of the three wolves. The humans not having a good time. They're like, fuck, we're just, they have the crow. Yoshisugu the crow is like, we keep hanging humans. In the case of like Konzo, he was a human and he had just elected to hang himself because he was like, I'm fucking out of here. Like, I hate it here. He did the whole, I hate it here, I'm done. And they didn't stop him, which was wild. They didn't have the heart to stop him, I like to think. So we sat through another round of the elimination and deduction and all that. They're thinking, the humans are like, okay, we only have like 5 possibilities. And if there's 3 wolves, that's more than a 50% shot that the next person we hang is definitely like over 50% chance we're gonna hang a wolf tonight. Or today, you know, this is great for us. We got the wolves right where we want them. We got them cornered. But unbeknownst to them, their math is way off because they have, the wolves have penetrated into the safe group. We can't go over the whole reason why or how it actually happened, but basically, I mean, the easiest explanation, right, is that Haruaki bluffed being the snake since the real snake died in Takumi. So with the real snake dead, Haruaki, unchallenged, claimed himself to be the snake to very little resistance. He was then deemed to have that role, which would mean he's not a wolf. And then he said he researched Haru and said that she was a human. So those two got through. So really, 2 of the 3 wolves, by most the group, are presumed to be human, leaving Kaori as one of the suspected 5 humans that are left, they assume, right? Meanwhile, Hashimoto is doing his thing. He's laying like verbal trap cards all over the field. Haruaki seemingly able to navigate them quite well. And the last trap we saw Hashimoto kind of lay for him was like, hey, Haruaki, why don't you lead the group? You know, Yasunaga, he's just a fucking kid. Like, we can't put this responsibility on him, you know? So, Haruaki's like, you know what? That's actually a good point. I'll lead this meeting from now on, because I'm a responsible adult, I guess. I may be childish, but I'm an adult. Based on numbers. You'd never guess. So then he kind of like he tried to establish dominance really early on. He was like telling people to like shut up and stuff and stop fighting and bickering or he'll turn this car around kind of thing. And it was like, okay, well, I guess this is how he gets 1 ounce of authority. They give him an inch of authority and he's like, I'm going to take it and run with this kind of thing. And I'm going to be a dickhead even more than I am normally. So there was that. And so then they had basically the 5 people that they assumed were possibilities of wolves stand up and say 2 things. They were asked, hey, say why you are not a wolf, and then also say someone else, point to someone else you think is not a wolf. And that seemed like a really good plan, and I think I even said this last stream. I said, that's a really good plan if you could guarantee that amongst the 5 people, the 3 wolves are in there. But that plan is dead on arrival and is really going to struggle to reveal much info if 2 of the 3 wolves are not in your suspected group of 5. But no matter, we see them, you know, we see Old Lady Tai, we see Mamiya, we see, I'm trying to remember all 5 in this. So it's Mamiya, Tai, Kaori already said was suspected, fucking 2 others. I'm trying to think, was it Chikamochi or was he already presumed to be, is he a monkey? No, I think Chikamochi is a monkey. Who else is in this fucking group? Oh, Meiko and Rikako? Yes, those are the other 2. I recalled. Look at that. My memory's not as bad as it sometimes is. So, you know, you had like Tai just be like, I'm fucking too old for this shit and I hate everyone here. You had Mamiya be like, I'm kind of tired of this. Like, I'm clearly out of my depths for this game. I just play along with what Hashimoto wants to do. I'm surprised I'm not dead yet. And then you had Rikako kind of just be like, I think she was like, I don't really feel great about choosing people and, you know, whatever. And then you had Kaori. She threw shade onto Rikako. She was like, I think it's her. Fuck it. I don't know. And then you had Meiko be like, death to all humans, death to everyone, fucking everyone die, hang yourselves. I'm being weird this round for whatever reason. I might be the badger, that's what everyone's saying. Or I just might be a child who has had too much sugar, whatever the case is. So those are the 5. And then basically through a round of voting, Tai was chosen to be hung, and they did the deed. So that's another non-wolf hung, and then we'll see the fallout from that. So that's where we're at. That's a good recap by me, I gotta say. Not my best, but far from my worst. Ow! Let's read. Now, the thing I want to point out is we're going to come to a head at some point. I don't know if it'll be this stream necessarily, but there can't be that many more rounds left. They even added up the numbers, and I think they pointed out, if it wasn't already obvious or wasn't said explicitly at some point, it was basically mentioned about, like, I think the same kind of rules you have in the normal, like, game of Werewolf is once the wolves match this number of normal humans, then it's like a complete victory or whatever. I think there's something like that. They made mention of it. There's something about the numbers. So either one or two things are going to happen here, probably. There has to be a complete reverse course from the humans, and just somehow Hashimoto has to do some kind of, like, amazing feat and take out the wolves, like, bang, 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 immediately. Or the wolves are going to win handedly. Or something insane happens, like Kaori finally goes mad again and snaps and just shoots everyone. Like, and then you got to think, like, I don't know, what does Haruaki learn at the end of this? If his wolves become victorious, what ultimately does he take away from this loop to help solve the mystery? That's what I'm curious about. Anyway, I took some items from the prefab and went to the dorm. Clear my throat here. Standing in front of Haru-chan's room, I knocked on her door.
誰?
Who's there?
不妻子だけど。
Fusaishi. She opened the door. Let me in.
何の用意?
Oh, she's in a new outfit. There we go. We got a new sprite for Haru. Damn, Haru getting all the different outfits in this game. She's some dev's favorite. What do you want? She sounded moody, but there was none of the harshness from before. It felt more like she was perplexed. She was probably thinking that I might have come here as a wolf.
いろいろ言うべきこともあったんだけど、君の格好を見て全部吹っ飛んだ。
I was going to say something, but seeing your outfit caused my mind to go blank. Haruaki? What do you mean by that?
これ? 部屋着よ? 悪い?
We don't really need to start this early. Haruaki, don't. What about it? This is what I wear inside my room. I figured no one wore this kind of thing since the war. Oh, I just remembered that Yasumitsu people frequently survived on hand-me-downs. This was probably from someone else here. It was the exact opposite of her usual weird fashion, but it was strangely fitting. I gotta say, I think I said it, like, way early on. They made a note of, like, oh, Haru's weird fashion sense. Like, she just cobbled together this weird, eclectic outfit kind of thing. I was like, early on, I was like, I really like her. I like the outfit she's got on. It's interesting, you know? I like her style, her steez. It was probably her face. It went well with distinctly Japanese fashion, no matter the era.
とりあえずこれあげるよ。食べて。
Anyway, here, eat up.
何これ?
What's this? In my hands, I had orange boxes of food, the same kind Chiemi had given me the first time.
クッキーみたいなやつ。結構腹持ちがいいから。3箱くらい持っていくがよい。
They're like cookies. They're easier on your stomach. Take 3.
へえ。食べたことないや。ありがとう。助かる。
Oh, I've never tried these. Thanks.
お腹減ってるんでしょ? 無理しなきゃいいのに。
You're hungry, right? You shouldn't force yourself.
気まずいもん。
But it's awkward.
まあ、わかるけど。
Yeah, I understand.
香織さんには後で謝る。
I'll apologize to Kaori-san later.
明日、安永くんにもね。
And to Yasunaga-kun tomorrow.
そうだね。それじゃあ、また。
Yeah. Anyway, see you. She closed the door.
僕にもくれるのだろうな、ハッサン。
You're sharing with me too, right? I turned around, but didn't see anyone.
こっちだ、こっち。
He's a mist monster. I'm over here. He sure was. His face was right outside the railing on the second floor, almost right next to my feet.
え? 1階からジャンプしたの?
Huh? You jumped from the first floor?
そんなわけないだろう。階段のところからこっそりと侵入し、 懸垂状態でこっちまで横移動してきたのだ。
Like I could. I just grabbed on from the staircase and climbed my way over.
器用だな。猿か君は。
Wow. Are you a monkey?
ところが降りられないし登れない。
But I can't get up or down or up.
何をやっている？
What are you doing?
ハッサン、ヘルプ。
Help me, Hassan. Help. I went down to the first floor, waited until he let go and caught him. He was pretty light for a guy, so this wasn't a challenge.
ドキッとしただろう。
Made you blush, didn't I? I love Mochi. Well, he did look like a small, cute girl, but I'd seen something I'd rather not while I was looking upward, so he really didn't. Oh my god.
なんでこんなことを？受け狙いか？
What are you doing? Fishing for laughs?
いや、ボロを出すかなと思って。
No, I just thought you would spill the beans.
え？
Huh?
これまでのハルちゃんならあんな変な突っかかり方をしないと思うんだよね。
I just think that Haruchan isn't the type of girl to go on the offensive like that.
ハルちゃんのじっちゃんのことがあるにしたってあれはヤッスンのせいって感じでもなかっただろう。
I know there's the whole thing with her grandpa, but it's weird to make it Yasun's fault, right?
なんだろうな、じっちゃんに向けてたイライラをヤッスンに向けたのかな。でもそれも変だな。
Was she just redirecting her frustration with her grandpa at him? But that'd be weird too.
僕の知ってるハルちゃんならじっちゃんもヤッスンもどっちもけなさずに済むようなこと言ってなあなあにする。
The Haruchan I knew wouldn't say anything that'd make it seem like she's blaming them. She'd just shrug it off.
そこで、ああ、もしかしてハッサンあたりがハルちゃんをたぶらかしたのではないかという
That's what-
推理だ。どうだ。
And that's why I thought that you might have done something to her. What do you think?
全然違う。
No way. Well, actually, it was hard to say that I didn't. What the hell was up with this guy's intuition?
僕は単に君らを軽く叱りつつ、今日の分の食べ物を分けに来ただけ。
I just came here to scold you guys a bit and give you some food.
そうだそれだ、食べたい。
Oh yeah, gimme! I did that, and he instantly opened it.
ほう、スイーツだな。
Oh, sweets, huh?
おお、粉っぽいけどおいしいぞ。おいしいぞハッサン。
Oh, it's sweet, but really good. I love it, Hassan.
お腹減ってんなら無理するなよ。
Don't force yourself if you're that hungry.
にゃー、そろそろマジで毒を盛られるんじゃないかって気もしてさ。
I just thought that I was in danger of being poisoned.
香織さんはそんなことしないだろ。
Kaori-san wouldn't do that.
誰かが抑えてなきゃとっくにそうなってる気がする。
Feel like it would have already happened if someone wasn't there to stop her.
なんだろう、なんなんだ。やたらさっきから危ない過程をしまくってないか君は。
What are you getting at? Can you go a minute without making weird assumptions?
香織ママは狼だと思うんだけどな。
I do think that Mommy Kaori is a wolf.
多分さ、そういうこと言ってるとみんな僕のことを鬱陶しく思うのだろ。
If I said that with everyone around, everyone would just think I'm a bother, right?
だからハッサンだけに言ってるのだ。
That's why I'm saying it to just you.
僕は信用してもらえてるんだ。
So you trust me?
ハッサンは汚れを受けるようなことはしないだろう。
Yeah? I mean, you wouldn't do anything that earned you the corruption, right?
なんかずっとカマをかけられ続けてるような気分になってきた。
I feel like you're hinting at something with every sentence you say.
もしそうなら、モッチ、そこまで露骨にやるとあんまり効果的じゃないからね。
If you really are, let me just tell you that it's not getting across.
そっか。難しいな、人間社会って。
Really? Human society sure is difficult. What a child of the wild thing to say.
とにかくそれ食べてしっかり物意味して寝るんだよ。あと明日はちゃんと香織さんに謝るんだ。
Anyway, eat up, shelter, and sleep, and apologize to Kaori-san tomorrow.
気が向いたらね。
If I feel like it.
じゃあね。早いけど。おやすみ。
Anyway, it's early, but good night.
ハッサンさ、
Hassan,
ハッサンとハルちゃん、狼？
are you and Haru-chan wolves? I couldn't let that question trip me up.
ああ、いいのだ。別に。会ってても、会ってなくても、殺しても、殺さなくてもさ。
Oh, it's fine. I don't care if you are or not, or if I'll die or not.
ただ、ハルちゃんがハッサンあたりと組んで、悪かろうがなんだろうが、強くなってくれてさ。
I just had a hunch that she grew stronger thanks to teaming up with someone. What they're after might be a good thing or a bad thing, though.
それがハルちゃんの幸せならさ、僕的には大歓迎だ。
But if it makes her happy, I'm okay with that.
おーい。もう確定なのかよ。
Hey, why are you acting like that's true?
違うの？
Huh? It isn't.
なんでこんなに
I said
疑
that
われ
weird.
てるん
It
だろ
isn't?
う。
Question mark.
そりゃ違うさ。
Why are you suspecting me? Of course it isn't.
別に、なんでとかはないぞ。ミスとかもしてないだろう。ハッサンは自信を持つといい。
There's no reason. I'm just thinking aloud. Be more confident. I really couldn't.
学校だとさ、証明とかあるじゃん。僕がいくら正解当てたって、証明がないと先生は点くれないんだよね。
You know how you have to show your work at school? Well, I get a lot of answers right, but if I don't show my work, I don't get credit.
しょうがないじゃん。証明とかわからんけど、なんかわかるんだから。
I really don't understand proof or whatever. I just know things.
だから、
So,
まあ、外れてるかもしんないし、ほんと、どうでもいいんだよ。
well, I could be wrong, but I really don't care.
殺すとか、やったことないけど、くくるの見てる限り、そんなに面白そうじゃないし。
I've never tried killing anyone, but from what I saw in the hangings, it really didn't seem like all that fun or interesting.
やっすんにも生き残って、幸せになってほしいけど、きっと無理だよね。
I want Yasun to survive and become happy, but that's probably impossible. Yeah, Carrie-san was a wolf after all.
だから、ま
So-
あ、
So, yeah.
僕は適当に思ったことを言うだけなんで、頑張れ、ハッサン。
I'm just saying whatever comes to mind. Do your best, Hassan.
お、忘れてた。
Oh, I almost forgot.
ハッサン、ありがとう。墓にはぜひ、こいつを備えてくれい。
Thanks, Hassan. Leave some of these on my grave. He tore off another aluminum package, all smiles. After that, I left the dorm. Mochi knew. There's no logic behind it, he just knew. Despite that, he said he wouldn't do anything. That was a lie. He'd already voted for Kaori-san, so he was definitely following his intuition. He'd probably vote for me at some point just because I seemed kinda shady. However, like he just said, no one would take his baseless accusation seriously. Even so, a vote was a vote. I was getting more and more of them. Would I survive?
にはならないで。
Don't become. What did she mean by that? I really didn't understand.
かおりさんごめんね。昼は投票までしちゃって。
Sorry, Kaori-san. I even voted for you.
いいのよ。演技だって分かってたし。休なかったら慌ててたわね。
It's fine. I knew you were just acting. Did you see how perplexed Yasunaga was?
かおりさんの演技もかっこよかったよ。匠兄のこと引き合いに出したのは強かったよね。
Your acting was really good too. I really liked how you mentioned Takumi-san.
私たちで殺してるのにね。
And we're the ones who killed him. An act where they praised each other's acting. After I met up with Haru-chan and came to the dining hall, she started talking to Kaori-san like this. In Kaori-san's case, this was a side effect of the madness born of her emotions and sense of right. In Haru-chan's case, I told her to behave around Kaori-san, so I was relieved to see she did.
で、久石さん、今日はどうするの？
So, what do we do today? Once that nonsense was finished, she put on a serious expression. The situation was difficult and tense. Though it was just his intuition, Shikamochi Kamoshida was getting real close to finding us out. I told this to Haru-chan, who said, but it's just Mochi, since he wasn't really influential. She wasn't wrong, but it was entirely possible that humans would reach for any possible lead out of desperation. Also, killing him would reduce the number of confirmed humans, and getting rid of him early would prevent any info from leaking. The humans would wonder why the wolves would go for him, which could probably be pretty bad for us if anyone saw me talking to him. Then there was Yudai Hashimoto. He was antagonistic towards me in the most direct way. He'd set me up as the leader, and would now try to expose me. His strange actions, like his vote, probably drew everyone's attention. If his words tomorrow were convincing enough, the idea that it was dangerous to have me as a leader would spread even further. I couldn't help but feel it was best to get rid of him early, but it was too late for that. I'd definitely be suspect if I killed him now, but I wasn't completely defenseless. Though, I was also concerned about how we still hadn't fulfilled the promise to kill the Uribe brothers. Why? Because I had no idea what Kaori-san would do if we postponed that again, if only she was more cooperative. Yasunaga Uribe was as influential as always, and he was considering my words as the new leader very carefully. Though he was a lot less powerful than he was at the start, not to mention he'd been protected by a spider once already. If that happened again, our situation would be really dire. Yoshisugu Uribe, however, was better left alive for now. Like always, he supported his brother while being staunchly opposed to the elders and village heads. People who fragmented the group were helpful to us. The crow was dangerous at first glance, but as a false snake, I would only be in danger if his information contradicted mine. In other words, if there were no contradictions, I could use him to strengthen my credibility. Then there was the spider. To get rid of them, we had to kill either Hisako Mamiya or Rikako-san. However, there were more immediate dangers. Right now, I had to pick one of those three. Okay. Shikamochi, Hashimoto, Yasunaga. If I'm in his position, I think you kill Yasunaga. I don't care that he got protected before. You can't assume that that's going to happen again a second time. You would probably, like, take odds. Odds are just by natural human behavior that, like, the spider would probably try to throw it to someone else and probably wouldn't pick the same person twice over. I think killing Shikamochi is just short-sighted in my opinion. I think you're just spooked that he's saying his accusations and he's on the money, but I think you even said, like, he's no one's going to, like, take him seriously kind of thing. So I think killing Shikamochi is not the call. And again, I think taking out Hashimoto, again, you feel threatened by him and his presence, and he is directing a lot. But ultimately, and it's a good second choice, I think, but I think you have to make sure Kaori doesn't lose it in my head, especially because if I'm Haruaki and I have in my head the imprint of Kaori going fucking insane and taking people out, and potentially, like, there's still a chance that if we don't do what she wants and her plan and her wants keep getting put on the back burner, what stops her from, like, doing something catastrophic or selling out the other wolves or doing whatever? Like, to me, I think you have to kill Yasunaga just to appease Kaori. If we didn't need to, then I would go for Hashimoto probably. But I think Yasunaga is the play. I know he's not the most powerful of this three, and probably game-wise seems like the least credible threat to us, because Shikamochi seems to be on point and Hashimoto laying all the traps. But I think you have to placate Kaori. So I'm going to leave Yasunaga for last. And I'm going to go first. The one I think is the least good choice, I'm going to pick first, and that's Shikamochi. I'll work my way down. I named some we had to kill today and provided some advantages of doing that. I hoped they would understand. But it already seems bad. Why the laugh? Why are you laughing?
ごめんなさい。久石さん。
Aha. I'm sorry, Fusaishi-san.
いろいろ考えていただいたけど、無駄にしちゃったわ。
You seem to have given this a lot of thought, but I put it to waste. No, she didn't.
香織さん、ドアに触れたの？
Did you touch the door? The only door the wolves could open was the first one we touched.
ええ。だって、また後回しにされたらかなわないもの。
Yes. Yes. Couldn't have survived another delay. She'd finally gone out of control. We wolves could fall to a single betrayal, so unity was even more important for us than for humans, and yet she'd done this. Then again, maybe it was my own fault. I made killing your sons the foundation of our alliance.
どっちのドアに触れたんです？
Whose door did you touch?
安永よ。昨日失敗していたから、今日目が覚めてすぐ、あなたたちが出てくる前に寮へ行ったわ。
Yasunaga. We didn't get him yesterday after all. This night, I went to the dorm right after waking up, before you two even left.
鍵は開いたんですね。
Was it unlocked?
ええ、間違いなく。少し開けて確認したわ。
Yes, I'm sure of it. I even opened it up a bit. That was good enough. Then. That was good enough, period. Uncapitalized T. Then, period. If we had to kill Yoshitsugu-kun, I'd have had to rethink my plans. Haru-chan was looking at me. She was asking if this wasn't the right time. Yeah. There was no guarantee that she could spend a whole day like a proper wolf after Yasunaga-kun died. In that case...
香織さん、お願いがあります。
Kaori-san, I have a favor to ask you.
何かしら。
What is it?
明日、死んでくれませんか？
Can you die tomorrow? We would get rid of her.
死に方を決めるのは、息子を二人とも殺した時ではなかったのかしら。
Didn't we agree that I would die after I killed both my sons?
香織さん、自分でどう思いますか？明日一日、安永君を殺した事実を完全に隠して、遺族として振る舞いますか？
Kaori-san, think about it yourself. Could you spend the entirety of tomorrow like a proper mother who lost her child, perfectly hiding the fact that you did it yourself?
一刻も早く義継君も殺して、自分が楽になりたいと、実力行使に出ない自信がありますか？
Don't you think you would kill Yoshitsugu-kun right away to find peace?
難しくないかな。今日すでに実力行使してるし。
It'd be too hard for you, right? You've already done something without our knowledge tonight.
そう言われると、
You're
言い
not
返せないわ。
you're not wrong there.
それに実際、死んで楽になれるなら、それも楽でいいけれど。
Well, I don't mind dying and finding peace, but
もちろん、義継君は必ず殺します。狼が敗北することになっても、彼だけは必ず。
don't worry. We will kill Yoshitsugu-kun even if we end up losing.
わかったわ。明日、くくられるのね。
Alright, so I'll be hanged tomorrow. That'd help us a lot. I can only hope she pulled it off well. We then talked about how we would go about it. Then, we returned to the dorm. And killed Yasunaga Uribe. Like we'd agreed, they were the ones to do it this time. They'd used whatever farming tools they could find outside. They were too rusty to make any clean cuts, so they had to stab him with a pickaxe and crush him with a hammer too. In the end, the body was barely recognizable as human, just like with Takumi-san. The only real difference was when we had to stop Kaori-san, who was bashing the remains while laughing maniacally. That was the end. After calming her down in the dining hall, I reminded her of what she'd have to do tomorrow.
僕らのことは明かさない。安永君の殺害は否定する。できるだけ感情的になる。
Don't tell them about us. Deny having killed him. Be as emotional as possible.
そして、あなたたちとは積極的に争う。
And I'm supposed to argue against you?
仲間としてのあなたたちとはここでお別れね。
I guess this is the last time we'll treat each other as allies.
ここまでありがとう。
Thank you for everything. I really didn't deserve gratitude.
香織さんもここまでありがとう。
Kaori-san, thank you.
約束は必ず守りますから。
We'll fulfill our promise. The two villains said their goodbyes to the insane mother. They both felt strangely defeated, yet respectful of her. Huh.
香織さんが死ぬね。
Kaori-san's gonna die, huh?
そうだね。
Yeah.
いい君。読み人に慈悲を注ぐ裏切り者。
Serves her right. Anyone who feels sympathy for Yonbito is a traitor.
なんて思わなくていいんだよね。
I don't have to think stuff like that, right?
ああ、
Yep.
善人ぶってて気に食わない。あいつは仲間にはいらない。
I don't like how she acts like a good person. I don't need anyone like her on my side.
そんなことだって思わなくてもいいんだ。
You don't have to think that way either.
いいんだ。泣くと心も疲れるから。
It's fine. I'd cry otherwise, and that's too exhausting.
それもまた好きにしていい。
You can do that too if you want.
心と体を縛るものを一切無視してしまえばいい。それが悪の特権なんだから。
You can ignore anything binding your mind and body. That's the privilege of being evil.
春秋は外で何をしてた人なの？宗教家？
What were you outside, Haruaki? A preacher?
まさか。でも秘密。
Not telling. That's a secret of mine.
ここ出たら教えてくれる？
Will you tell me if we leave this place?
考える。
I'll think about it.
ここ出たらどうやって生きよう？
How would I live after getting out?
どうしようね。
I wonder.
私お金持ってない。ちょっとだけ助けてくれる？
I don't have any money. Would you help me out?
お金だけでいいの？
You'd be fine with just a bit of money?
住む家とか仕事とか。
I'd also need a place to stay. And a job.
できる範囲では手伝うさ。というか、日本にいられるかもわからないし。
I'll help you whatever way I can. Honestly, I'm not sure if we'll even be able to stay in Japan.
そうなると、二人で協力して逃げるしかないかもしれないね。
We might even have to cooperate and escape.
それは嘘だ。一人の方がよっぽど逃げやすいでしょ、春秋は。
Yeah, right. It'd be way easier for you to escape on your own, right?
気を使ってくれてんの？それとも私目当て？
Are you just being nice to me? Or are you actually falling for me? Oh.
どっち答えれば正解なのかな。
Which is the right answer?
少なくとも後の方言ったらそれは嘘。春秋は女の子には困らないでしょ？
If you say it's the latter, I'd say you're lying. I mean, it's not like women are hard for you to find, right?
なんだろう。はるちゃんはもうちょっと奥ゆかしいというか、そういう話が苦手なんじゃないかと思ってた。
What's this? I thought you were more reserved. Since when was this something you liked talking about?
興味はあるよ、そりゃ。でもどうしたらいいかわからないし。
Well, I'm interested in it too after all, but I don't know what to do about it.
兄ちゃんに嫌われたら嫌だし。
And I don't want Nichan to hate me.
好きだったんだよね。
You liked him, right?
好きって何？ただ嫌われたくはなかったし、一緒にいて楽しかったし、キスとかいろいろしてみたかったけど。
What does that mean anyway? I didn't want him to hate me, like being with him, and I wanted to try kissing him and stuff.
十分じゃん。
That's more than enough.
もっと好きって特別な感情なんじゃないの？世界で一つだけの。
Isn't it a more special feeling? Like the only one in the world?
君は真面目だな。まあ、特別と言えるほどすごい感情を持って恋愛する人もいるけど。
Well, aren't you innocent? Yeah, I won't say that there aren't people who feel a special sort of love.
普通そうじゃないの？
Isn't that what's normal?
普通かどうかは、結婚については、この人ならいいかくらいでくっつくのが多いっぽいけどね。
I don't know about normal, but with marriage at least, it's more like, I guess this person will do fine.
夢が崩れるな。
Great, thanks for ruining my dreams.
そうかな。他人と一緒に暮らすってだけで、エキサイティングだと思うけどな。
Really? I'd say that being able to live together with someone is pretty exciting.
春秋はあるの？女の人と一緒に暮らしたりとか。
Did you ever live with a girl like that?
あるよ。
I did.
不潔だと思う？まあ実際、あんまり綺麗じゃない局面もいっぱいあるけどさ。
You think it's indecent? Well, I won't deny that was a dirty side to it. I hate hearing him talk about this. Ugh. I don't want Haruaki to tell me about the dirty side to his relationship, man. He's talking to a young girl about the dirty side of his relationship.
不潔か。
Indecent, huh?
こうして狼になって人を殺して血に汚れてついでに悪者になってみたけど。
I became a wolf, killed people, got blood on my hands, and even turned into a villain.
なんでもなかったな。汚れるのなんて。
And honestly, becoming filthy really wasn't a big deal.
前みたいに棒切れ持って追いかけ回されなくてよかったよ。
I'm glad you're not chasing me with a stick anymore, at least.
あれはごめん。
Sorry about that.
まあ、あれは事故だし、モッチーという名の人災だけど。
Well, it was an accident. A natural disaster. Hurricane Mochi. That's funny.
でもなんか腹が立ってきた。
Ugh, I'm actually kind of mad now.
なんでさ。
Why?
春秋は意外と純粋でいてほしかった。
I wanted you to be unexpectedly pure.
なんだそりゃ。
What the hell?
キスしてって言ったら
No!
してくれるの？春秋は。
Would you kiss me if I asked you?
しない。
Oh, thank God. Avoided some kind of disaster. No.
ふーん。春には魅力がないんだ。
So I'm not attractive, huh?
君は思ったよりかなり魅力的
No.
だ。
Haruaki, you could have just ended it there. Didn't have to. He says, you actually turned out to be way more attractive than I originally thought.
何それ？いろいろひどくない？
What the hell? That's kind of mean.
褒めてるんだ。君は面白いよ。面白いってのは僕的には最大の魅力だ。
I mean that in a good way. You're fun and interesting, and that's always been the deal breaker for me.
ただ、なおさらできない。ろくでもない恋愛で邪魔したくないから。
But that's exactly why I can't do it. Warped affection would get in the way.
ろくでもないって。
Warped?
ろくでもないさ。共犯者が互いの傷を舐め合うだけだ。
It is warped. We'd be criminals licking each other's wounds.
それでも悪ならしていいんでしょ？
That's appropriate for a pair of villains, right?
どうじゃ？反論してごろうじろ？悪党殿。
Well, where are your arguments now, villain?
どこまであなただったんだ？
How much of that was you?
さあのじゃがこの娘の体は貴様を受け入れる気はあるようじゃぞ。確かめてみられるか？
Who knows? But it seems like this girl's ready to take you in. Care to give it a try? I was gonna say, both for you perspective listening to this, and then also in Haruaki's case, do you think he's more interested or less interested in Haru relationship-wise because she has this god being thing possessing / is her kind of thing? Like, is there a part of... I'm trying to think, like, do you go like, huh, that's kind of interesting. I could fix her. Oh, God.
あなたとしてそれはいいのか?
Haruaki, you're fine with that?
無論じゃ。海増えるはあまねく良きことなり。
Of course, a flourishing bloodline is always good.
悪人との子供であっても?
Even if the child of that is that of a villain?
それもまた一興かと思いましての。
That certainly is its own manner of excitement.
貴様の言う悪が我に混じれば、もしや忌々しき信頼明神を下すようなものになれるやもしれぬ。
Perhaps if the evil you speak of mixes with myself, we might be able to bring down the detestable Great Lord Shinai.
どうじゃ?
Oh.
神とまぐわってみるか?
Well, do you wish to lay with me? Haruaki, stop! Go get... Do anything. Leave. Go, just head north into the mist. I don't know. I sprinkled some water around us and slapped her.
しっかりしろ、ハルちゃん。そんなやつに
There
勝手
we
にさせ
go.
るな。
Good job, Haruaki. Get a grip, Haru-chan. Don't let her do what she wants. Now,
何するの?
probably could have handled that a little more tactfully. But, ow! What are you doing?
明日は多分きつい宴になる。もう戻って休もう。
Tomorrow's feast is gonna be rough. Let's get some rest. Now, you know, I've only spent tens of hours now with Haruaki here as his co-pilot, basically. But I'm gonna assume that was hard for him to turn down. I'm just gonna read into it. I'm gonna think that it took a lot out of him to be like resist his shitty urges or something. Like,
おやすみ。
I give him no credit. Good night.
私は春秋のこと
I
好
don't
きだとは思わないけど、
I don't think that I like you or anything.
でもいい加減なことは言ってない。
But I'm not just saying whatever comes to mind here.
あなたは私に悪を教えてくれた。
You taught me about evil.
他にもまだ春秋からは得られそうな気がしてるから言ったの。
And I feel like there's even more I can learn from you.
そこは間違いなく本気だから。
I'm serious about that.
おやすみ。
Good night. Crap. She was becoming more and more my type of girl. Same Motel's my type starts playing. Yeah, just my type. Oh, you got a pulse and you are breathing. That, honestly, that song goes for Haruaki, falls for him so much. Like, he's like, oh, you're just my type. You've got a pulse and you are breathing. Now that song will be stuck in my head all night. She was becoming, oh yeah, I'm becoming more and more my type of girl. Great. Oh, but Chiemi and Rikako, so much more better options. However, I also didn't want to feel even worse about my memories of events that never happened in this timeline. No, he's just so conflicted. Oh, he's so conflicted. All of these women just amongst him. 5/17 Saturday. Is this... Did I choose a good timeline? Day 5. This is the first time I'd ever gotten this far. To kill 16 participants without any intervention by the corruption, the wolves needed about 7 days. All the wolves were still alive, but that would change today. The humans could go on the offensive too. Something would happen today. Could I really survive this? Along with one of the wolves? I didn't see the autosave, and I don't want to check the timeline thing to see, because I don't necessarily want to spoil if I chose the right one or not yet. But it's kind of weird, because the way that scene played out, I chose Chikamochi, and then Kaori basically, like, overruled me. Was it a fake choice? Maybe did all 3 choices lead? It might be. I won't check yet. I mean, I assume we'll probably have to check at some point tonight, but it could be that it was a non-choice, like no matter who you pick, kind of thing. It was always Kaori was going to overrule and say nope. The one who found Yasunaga Ribei's body was his brother. Without the elders around, he'd taken it upon himself to patrol in the morning. Finding his brother's remains like that must have been traumatizing, and I thought that was one of those, and I thought that as one of those responsible. Naturally, he went crazy. Unlike when he lost his mother, he wasn't crying. Who did it? I can't scream. I don't have the, I can't destroy my voice, but, screaming, who did it? Who the fuck killed Aniki? His brother's death made him more angry than sad. He picked up a stick and swung it around with absurd ferocity. He charged at everyone indiscriminately and though no one was hurt, we all had to hide in our rooms for a while. The one to stop him was, of all people, Hashimoto-san. He was the only one who didn't lock himself up. I understand how you feel.
事故でも戦争でも親族を失った人たちは一様に君のようなやりきれない顔をしているよ。
Whether in accidents or war, your pain is shared by all those who lose family.
ただ、本当の戦いはこの後、お堂で始まるあれだ。
But the real battle will begin shortly, in the hall.
どう転んでも君には残酷な結末になるだろう。
No matter what happens, this will be a tragedy for you.
それでも正面から立ち向かうのが男ってもんじゃないか。堀部義嗣君。
But facing it head on is the manly thing to do, right? Yoshisugu Oribe-kun?
君ももうとっくに分かってるはずだ。
You must know this already. Fuck! He threw the stick on the ground and that was that. It took some serious guts to face an armed delinquent and talk him down. This was our enemy. Yasunaga! 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 Kara-san was acting like... No, she was crying for real. To her, the murder was his liberation from this harsh world, but it was also the end for them as mother and son. When you focused on that fact, it came as no surprise that the tears she shed were authentic. I'd also made her kill him as thoroughly as possible, so there was that. Anyway, this is no time to have breakfast, and Yoshisuke-kun insisted that we start the feast right away, so that's what we did. Right away. But that was a... we gotta check. We have to check. We got an autosave, and I got it before we get into a feast. Oh! Oh, oh, oh! It was what I was assuming. Because it was the only time we've had... I do want to check. I am curious. We should check. Because at least at the very least, there would be slightly different dialogue if we do what she wants, right? I named some we had to kill today and provided some advantages of doing so. Yeah, this yeah, she just, oh, it went to... I should have ended the... Okay, let me at the... And then let's... Just for thoroughness... We're being thorough.
香織さんごめんね。昼は投票までしちゃって。
Okay, Yasunaga. I named someone we had to kill today and provide some adventures of doing that. I hope that they would understand. Oh, it doesn't even... Yeah, okay. So she just goes, hey... Okay, so it doesn't even change the dialogue necessarily because... Okay, interesting. Alright. Well, you know what? I'm not... You know, natural inclination, you probably want to say something like, oh, isn't it dumb they give you a choice and then there's nothing... There's no real thing. But they've only done that once, and it kind of makes sense, and it gives a little bit of characterization to Kaori. Like, hey, like us as a player, like I was doing, like I walked through each person and was like, here are the advantages of taking this person out, but no matter what smart, logical way we'd want to go, Kaori's demands would override, and I kind of, you know, I think that makes sense, and is a nice little, you know, story twist thing. The only disadvantage to the whole thing is that then if someone were to check this or go back like I just did now, then they go, oh, like it really didn't matter. So maybe you could be a little bummed out that you're like, oh, it's whatever, but like, I think it's an interesting little, again, they don't overdo. I think this is the first time where we've had like an option and then it didn't actually, like, it just got overruled, right? Alright, well, then we don't have to go through all the choices. There's at least that. It is interesting though, because, like I said, the wolves have almost won here. Let me see, how many people are there now? 4, 7, 10. And they're gonna hang someone here. It's gonna be, did they say, so I kind of misunderstood, or I'm failing to slightly understand. Did they say that they want Kaori to take the fall here at this point? Was that their whole deal? Because if let's say Kaori goes down here, then the 2 wolves that are left are still presumed to be human. So then the remaining, unless something changes in the ideas in their minds, then they're going to be like, all right, well, let's just pick off the people that we haven't yet been able to confirm yet. Whatever. Yoshisuke-sama, divine sake. No. You need it to repel the corruption. I said no. Okay, well, I guess fuck the rules then. Then, let us begin the feast. The old hag was a goddamn human! Angry like hell, he stood up and shouted that at me. We got so few people left, so why haven't any of you hit a wolf yet? Say something, you lunatic. Those were just the results I was given. Oh yeah? Then who'd you look into this time? If you say you hit a human again, I swear I'll kill you. Oh, see, this is where he's gonna sell. Okay, I found a wolf. Everyone present wore a poker face. Their feelings were completely unreadable. Say it then. Who's the wolf? I'm telling you to say it. I put on a burdened expression. If I was a human, it would have been extremely hard for me to accept that my employer and the one who helped me more than anyone else here was a wolf. What? Say it. To think she would kill her own son. No way. I'll fucking kill you.
いくらでも殺せよ、織部義継。
If killing me will change the truth, then do it, Yoshisugu Uribe.
ああ、織部香織は狼だった。
Yes. Kaori Uribe is a wolf.
嘘だ。
You're lying!
嘘じゃない。
I'm not!
何かの間違いじゃないのかね。ご婦人はこんなに弱っておられるが。
This has to be some sort of mistake. Look at the state she's in.
野里様、それだと私やあなた様が狼だということになるのではないでしょうか。
Nosato-sama, if that is not true, it would mean that either you or I are the wolves.
何ですと。残り人数は。
What? People still alive are.
残り未確定が4人、メイコちゃんを抜くと3人、狼2人がこの中にいる。
There are 4 unconfirmed humans. Take away Mako-chan and you got 3. 2 of them are wolves.
いえ、山脇さんがいなくなったことで絞り込みはもう十分に行われてる。
No, with Yamawaki-san gone, we filtered out more than enough.
残る未確定者はメイコちゃん抜きで4人。人が座る席は1つしかない。
Without Mako-chan, we have 4 unconfirmed humans, and only one of them can be human.
私は自分が人だと知ってる。だから残り3人が。
I know I'm human, so it has to be the remaining 3.
冗談じゃない。私も人だ。
Nonsense! I'm human too!
私もです。
And so am I. I have a feeling Hashimoto is taking all this in, and I bet he's gonna be like, we have to reopen this up. And the people that we thought we had confirmed were completely safe and human, like, we gotta open that book back up. Like, I bet he's like, this is fucked kind of thing.
おふくろ、言ってくれよ。
Mom, say something!
自分も人だって言ってくれよ。
Tell him that you're human!
当たり前だわ。
Of course.
私が安永を殺せるわけが。
I would never kill Yasunaga.
だろうがよ。誰なんだよ、狼はよ。
Damn right. Who the hell's a wolf?
あんたのせいでしょうが。
It's all your fault! Carrie-san quickly grabbed Haru-chan. Uh-oh. 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 It's happening! Huh? She was completely shocked for a second.
あんたが安永が手に入らないもんだからこんなことを。
You did this because you couldn't have Yasunaga, didn't you? Oh, she was making a mess of things.
あなたが
You...
あなただって息子を何だって思ってるのよ。
You...
自分を好きに。
You... What do you think your son is? You're so obsessed that...
私が何だと言ってみろ。ほら。
What? Say it.
息子のことが好きすぎて頭が狂ったんでしょうが。あなたは
You're so obsessed with your sons that you've gone completely insane.
ぶってやる。クソガキ。
You brat. Take this. Right before things turned bloody, the others jumped in and stopped them. Of course, they were in no situation to continue the scene. Their act, which was mostly sincere, left everyone stunned.
ああ、喧嘩か。でも一応言っとこ。やっすんのママ、昨日疑ってごめんね。
Oh man, a fight. I'll still say it though. Sorry for suspecting you, Yasun's mom. The one with the weakest reaction to the event, Mochi, said the line least fitting the situation.
あなたか。あなたでしょう。友達じゃなかったのか。友達ならそんな余裕があるわけない。
You did it, didn't you? Weren't you friends? How can you feel that way about the death of a friend? She was basically attacking everyone now. It worked to show that she was a victim, but also made her a nuisance, just like Tai Yamawaki. She was doing what we'd agreed on.
まあ、なんとなくこうなるっ ってたからショックはないな。
Well, I did expect this to happen, so it's not that shocking.
鴨志田、つくづく行かれてんのは分かったからちょっと黙ってろよ。
Kamoshida, I know you're fucking insane, so just shut up.
ヨッシーさ、もうちょっと考えてみなよ。
Yoshi, think about it.
もし他の狼が殺すのにさ、香織ママが反対だったら、香織ママは刺してでも止めてんじゃん。
If one of the wolves wanted to kill Yasun, Mommy Kaori would have stopped them even if she had to stab them.
ってことは、香織ママも殺すのには賛成だったってことになるんだよ。
Since this happened, it means she'd actually approved of it.
おふくろが狼の前提で喋ってんじゃねえよ。
Don't talk like she's a wolf.
全員ちょっと黙ってくれないか。
Can you all shut up for a second? Everyone only fell silent because they were tired of making loud noises. Still, silence was silence.
なんだよイカレ野郎。
What is it, lunatic?
みんなもう言いたいことは言っただろう。いい加減冷静な人の意見を聞きたい。
You've already said your piece, right? I now want to hear what the level-headed people have to say. With a tired voice, I said that, hiding my face.
橋本雄大さん、
Yudai Hashimoto-san?
考えを聞かせてください。
I want to hear what you think.
意外だね。喋らせてくれるんだ。
Now, this is unexpected. You're actually letting me talk. You talk sooner or later anyway. Got him. I figured I might as well give him the floor now to avoid a more decisive play from him later.
でも、君に都合のいいことは言わないよ。
I won't say anything that's useful to you.
僕には心当たりがないので。
I have no clue what you mean.
そう言われるとやりにくいな。
That makes this a bit harder.
自信があるわけじゃないんですか？
You're not confident?
7割くらいしか。
I'm about 70% certain.
十分でしょう。それなら。
That's more than enough.
じゃあ言おう。
Very well, I'll say it.
僕の考えは今日、不妻子君に申し訳ないが、犠牲になってもらいたいというものです。
Apologies, but I think that we should make Fusashi-kun the sacrifice for today. He went and said it.
ただ、僕は彼が狼かどうかにはまだ確定的な判断が下せない。
However, it's not like I have enough to proclaim with certainty that he is a wolf.
なぜか、今これから述べるいくつかの可能性が考えられるからですね。
Why? I'll present a few possibilities now.
一つ、不妻子君が本物の蛇で、堀部さんが本当に狼で、残る4人の中に狼が2人。
First, Fusashi-kun is the real snake, Oribe-san is the real wolf, as are two the 4 remaining. Wait, first, Fusashi-kun is the real snake? Okay.
昨日までは
Yeah,
こ
I see what you're
の
saying.
方針できた。それで狼は一人も出てこなかった。
That was how we operated until now, and so far we haven't had a single wolf.
今日出ました。
We have one today.
そうだね。昨日僕が君を脅したからかな。
Yes, because I threatened you yesterday. So that was what. So that was his story, huh? Fuck.
そしてさっき Q ちゃんが言ったみたいに、残り4人に本当に狼がいるのか。いやー、心配だ。
And now, like Q-chan said, could there really be wolves among the 4 remaining? I worry that the answer is no. Let me see something real quick. I just wanna. Wait, today? Yes, because I threatened you yesterday. I see. Okay, yeah.
ただ、それは一旦置いておいて、他の可能性を見よ
Then let's set that possibility aside and consider a few others.
う。他の可能性は、今、カゴ車だと言っている誰かが嘘をついていないとありえない。これは皆さん、お分かりですよね。
These ones are only possible if someone who claims to have a guardian actually isn't one. Does everyone understand that? At this point, only Mako didn't.
まず猿の
And we don't
カ
care
ゴシャ
about Mako.
つまり僕と近持君が嘘をついている可能性これは限りなく低い
First of all, let's look at the possibility of the monkeys, me and Chikamochi-kun, being liars. This is extremely unlikely.
僕と彼は全員がまだご存命の時に過去を明かし対抗者がいませんでしたしかも互いに正体を証明し合って
We revealed ourselves when everyone was still alive and no one came out to deny it. And since we can vouch for each other, we...
猿が本物なのは知ってっから他のこと言えや
Monkeys are good, we get it, move on.
結構次カラスが嘘をついてる可能性
Next is the possibility that the crow is lying.
彼は2日前つまり3日目の冒頭でこれを明かした狼じじい氏ムロさんそれに芹沢さんが亡くなっていた
He revealed himself on the third day, 2 days ago. By that point, we'd lost the old man who cried wolf, Muro-san, and Serizawa-san.
この3人の中にカラスがいた可能性はまあなくはないと思いますだから対抗して名乗れなかったか
It's not impossible that the crow was among them. That's why no one spoke up against him.
あるいは偽物の名乗りにどうしていいかわからないとか誘いに乗って姿を現し狼にやられるのを恐れたか
Or maybe the real one saw the fake's reveal as a trap and didn't know what to do, as coming out would lead the wolves killing him.
そんな理由で黙っているうちに死んでしまった
And they eventually died, having never revealed themselves.
ただそれ以降亡くなったのは牧島さん山脇さんそして今日の織部安永君
However, the ones who died since then were Makishima-san, Yamawaki-san, and today's Yasunaga Ribe-kun.
この3人なら亡くなる前にというか吉嗣君が立った瞬間カラスの加護を明かしていると思いますね憶測ですが
This is just an assumption, but I believe these three would have revealed themselves before they did. Or rather, right after Yoshitsugu-kun came out as a crow.
とにかく彼が勢いよくカラスを表明したのは偽物の虚勢だったという可能性はゼロではない
Basically, it wasn't impossible that his intense reveal was just a bluff.
カラスが嘘ならこれまでに処刑された方々の中に本物の狼がいたのかもしれないでしょ
If the crow is a fake, then there could have been real wolves among the ones who were lynched.
狼じじい氏牧島勘三氏山脇多江さんの3人の誰かあるいは複数人がね
The old man who cried wolf, Kanzo Makishima-shi, Tai Yamawaki-san. There could be more than one, too.
嘘なんかついてねえしこれまでくくったジジイどもは全員人だ
I didn't lie. The old farts who got hanged were all humans.
さてそして最後
And finally,
蛇の加護者不妻子春明くんが嘘をついてる可能性です
the possibility that the snake, Haruaki Fusaishi-kun, is a fake. Here we go.
彼が加護を明かしたのも3日前だから条件は吉嗣くんと同じです
He revealed himself on the third day, so the conditions were the same as for Yoshitsugu-kun.
ただ彼は室さんと安永くんそして牧島春さんの人を発表している生きているのは牧島さん一人
However, he declared that Muro-san, Yasunaga-kun, and Haru Makishima-san are humans, and the only one still alive is Makishima-san. Haru-chan looked at the floor and fell silent.
少なくとも室さん安永くんは狼に殺されることで身の潔白を証明した
Muro-san and Yasunaga-kun proved their innocence by being killed.
かといって彼の無実を証明することにはならない。偽蛇は本当のことだって言えますから。
However, that isn't enough to prove that Fusashi-kun is innocent. A false snake can still tell the truth after all.
狼は狼でない人が誰かわかるらしいですからね。
Because the wolves supposedly know who the other wolves are, right?
そういうこと。あ、最後にもう一つ。
Exactly. Oh, well, one more thing.
久石君と吉嗣君が二人とも嘘つきという可能性はあります。ありますが。
It's also possible that both Fusashi-kun and Yoshitsugu-kun are liars.
さすがに3日目の段階でカゴ車が2人狙い撃ちにされて、それで守備よく入れ替われたとは考えにくい。
But I find it really unlikely that two with guardians were dead on the third day and they happened to replace them both.
まあ考えにくいけどあり得るということで一つ。
Well,
さて。
well, unlikely or not, it's not impossible. But anyway,
この状況で皆さんどうするのが一番安心ですか？
what do you think is the safest thing to do here?
怪しいやつは全員くくる。
Hang everyone shady.
それも一案だが時間がかかりすぎる。
Thank
どう
you,
も一家
Yoshitsugu.
のことを考えよう。
That's one option, but it would take too much time. Let's think about what to do today.
まどろっこしいんだよ、デカブツ。
Get to the point, fatty.
吉嗣、あなた、もしかして。
Yoshitsugu, are you actually...
違う、俺は人だ。カラスだっつってんだろ、おふくろ。
No, I'm a human, the crow, damn it.
吉嗣君は挑発行為はやめてくれ。あと橋本さん、もう少し端的に話してください。
Yoshitsugu-kun, stop being so aggressive. And Hashimoto-san, you should get to the point.
みんな空腹とストレスで相当来てますよ。
Everyone's hungry and stressed.
これは失礼。じゃあもう言いますが、
Apologies. Then let me say it.
僕はもう吉嗣君のことは大体本物だと思ってるんです。
I do believe that Yoshitsugu-kun is most likely the real crow. Huh?
僕の予想では室匠さんは何らかのカゴ車でした。
And I believe that Takumi Muro-san had a guardian of some sort.
タクミ兄が
Takumi-ni?
ええ、なぜなら彼はまだ死ねないと言っていたからね。
Yes. After all, he said that he couldn't die yet. He noticed it too, huh?
彼はその他にもちょこちょこ何かを言いたそうに見えた。僕がそう見えたということは狼にも見えたかも。
It also looked to me like he'd had something to say, and the wolves could have noticed that too. Man, it's just highly ironic that, like, we started this loop, this official third loop here, where before we knew that we were going to get the wolf roll, we were like, oh, we gotta make it so that Hashimoto doesn't die. And yet now, through some ironic circumstances, we save Hashimoto from dying and he gets to participate in the feast. But it's probably by his hand that is our undoing as a wolf. But, you know, if I was a wolf and knew Hashimoto was this fucking really smart person and was gonna do my undoing, then obviously, Haruaki wouldn't try to save him. But there's the argument that at some point was posited in the game that's like the roles get doled out based on who is actually available. So you could make the argument I wouldn't be a wolf if Hashimoto wasn't around, kind of thing. But it's still highly ironic that I kept him around, I become the wolf, and Hashimoto then ends up fucking destroying the wolves. It's just funny.
いささか主観的ではないかね。
That's not very conclusive, is it?
それは否定できませんね。ただ 主観でない証拠なんて読み意味の宴の中にはそうそうありません。
I can't deny that, but finding hard evidence during the feast is difficult.
ゆえに狼が人間観察によって決断を行い成功した可能性は必ず考慮しなければならないのですが、
Therefore, we must consider the possibility that the wolves made some observations, acted based on what they saw, and succeeded.
吉嗣君はそういうキャラクターにはどうしても思えないんですよ。
Yoshitsugu-kun really doesn't seem like that type of person.
冷静に人間を観察し、平然と人格を装い、堂々と加護者のふりをするようなね。
He doesn't look like he could calmly observe people and act convincingly enough to pretend to have a guardian.
それはつまり僕がそういう人間だっていうことですよね。
Are you saying that that's the kind of person I am?
随分な人格攻撃だ。僕は爬虫類か何かですか？
That's a personal attack. Do you think I'm a chameleon or something?
こんな時じゃなきゃ褒め言葉だよ。とにかくだから僕が一番危惧しているのは彼が本物かどうか。
In a different situation, it'd be a compliment. Anyway, the thing I'm worried about the most is whether or not he's the real one.
何せ彼が偽物ならば牧島春さんも狼である可能性が出てくる。
If he's a fake, then Haru Makishima-san could be a wolf too.
当然織部香織さんも濡れ衣を着せられている可能性がある。
And it would be possible that Kaori Ribe-san is being framed. Everyone turned a suspicious eye on me. Crap. Kaori-san's tragic mother act was working too well. Everyone wanted to believe her more than me.
このまま彼の診断結果に従えば、まず織部香織さんを殺し、その後さらに2人か3人を殺すことになります。
If we keep acting based on his investigations, we'd have to kill Kaori Ribe-san, then 2 or 3 more people.
その後、もしかしたら織部吉嗣君が偽物かもと疑って殺す必要があるかもしれない。
Then, there would be a need to start suspecting whether Yoshitsugu Ribe-kun was fake or not.
この間に狼は同じ数の人を殺してしまう。手遅れになります。僕が心配するのはそれだ。
During that time, the wolves would kill as many people as we did. It would be too late, and that's what I'm worried about.
だから僕は彼に申し訳ないけど犠牲になってもらう。
So, pardon me, but that's why I want Fusashi-kun to sacrifice himself for us.
彼が本物かどうかは吉嗣君のカラスの能力で判別できます。
We'll know if he's a real based on Yoshitsugu-kun's power.
もし彼が本物なら現状通り織部香織さんを処刑し残る者を追い詰めればいい。
And if he is, we would lynch Kaori Ribe-san and try to corner the other two.
もし彼が偽物なら現状人だと判定されている牧島春さんも疑うべきだとわかる。
And if he's fake, we would have to start suspecting Haru Makishima-san, who he claimed was a human.
やめてよ。
No! Stop!
これで勝てるかどうかは正直わかりません。最終的には高確率で運の勝負になるでしょう。
I honestly don't know if we would win with this. In the end, it will most likely be a matter of luck.
しかし彼をこのまま放置して疑うべき集団、疑うべきでない集団を自由に作らせておくのは。
However, if we let him do as he pleases and let him create groups that should and should not be suspected at will,
後々取り返しのつかない事態を招く。
we would find ourselves with a problem we can't solve.
彼はすでに怪しむべきものを明らかにするという役割を十分に果たしてくれました。
He'd have already done his job as someone who determined who did and didn't have to be suspected.
もし人ならばなおさらここで皆さんのために犠牲になってもらえないかとこう思うわけですね。
If he's really a human, I believe he should really sacrifice himself for us. Oh, I expected something like this. It seemed reasonable, but really wasn't. It seemed kind, but really wasn't. Even so, winning against him wouldn't be easy. His guardian, position, appearance, and impression he'd given everyone were too powerful to overturn. Was the best angle of attack through logic or emotion? I decided I would simply be myself.
純粋に反論があるんですが、
I have a counter-argument.
なんだい？
Yes?
あなたは数字を雑に扱いすぎてる。
You underestimate the value of numbers.
ふむ。
Everyone, Hashimoto included, seemed confused. I quickly began to explain.
紙を使います。見てください。
I'll explain on paper. Look. I prepared an inkstone, got some water, and dipped the writing brush in it to soften it up. I'd watched Rikako-san do this before. I then melted the ink, prepared some paper, and began writing. Chikamochi, Kanshida, monkey. Yudai, Hashimoto, monkey. Yoshisuga Uribe, crow. Haruaki Fusaishi, snake. Haru Makishima, human. Kaori Uribe, wolf. Kinosuke, Rikako, Meiko, Hisako. There.
これが現状です。丸は確定で、三角の4人が自称である僕と吉嗣くん、そしてそれに正体を指定された2人。
This is our current state. The circles are confirmed humans, while the four triangles are the self-proclaimed and those I investigated.
三角を全員信用するならば、狼の容疑者は現在5人。人確定が5人。完全にタイです。
If you trust all the triangles, there are 5 possible wolves and 5 humans. Complete tie.
人は容疑者からくくっていき、狼は人確定から殺していく。結果、常に両方の数は釣り合っている。
The humans will hang the suspects, while the wolves will kill the confirmed humans, so it'll always be a tie.
これはわかりますね。
Understand? Everyone nodded. I appreciated that.
ところがこれだと、最悪の場合、つまり、織部香織さん以外の狼を当てられず、逃し続けた場合、
In this situation's worst case scenario, specifically if we don't find any wolves besides Kaori-san and let them do as they please,
昼の段階で人側の数と生き残った狼の数がイコールになる。この瞬間、人の負けが確定します。
you would soon have an equal amount of humans and surviving wolves. That would assure the humans' defeat.
投票で過半数が取れなくなるから。
Because they won't be able to get a majority when voting?
その通り。そして実際は、
Yes, and I looked at Meiko. She looked worried all day long, but when our eyes met, she became moody. What was that all about?
名子を生かしておく場合、最終的に狼に味方して投票する可能性が極めて高い。
If we keep Meiko alive, it's very likely that she would vote with the wolves. What? You're a dummy, a poopy dummy. A few hid their face, stifling laughs, surely. Regardless, based on their reactions to how she responded, they were all clearly concerned that she was the badger. I didn't want to kill her, but it could be inevitable this time.
もしそうなれば、狼足す名子になった瞬間、人の敗北。
If that happened and the wolves became wolves plus Meiko, the humans' defeat would be confirmed.
今日、名子か狼をくくらない場合、即座にその状況になります。
If we don't hang either Meiko or a wolf today, we would instantly be in that situation.
君や吉嗣君が本物ならね。
Assuming you and Yoshisuga-kun are real.
当然、その前提で喋ってます。そして、あなたの最も不誠実なのはそこだ。
That's the scenario I'm referring to, yes. And I realize that's what most of you are worried about.
いいですか皆さん。僕が知ってるのは、今狼を殺さなければ人は即座に負ける瀬戸際だってことです。
Listen, everyone. I know for sure that if we don't kill Wolf today, the humans' defeat is sealed.
僕を今日くくって人だと分かってその時にはすでに手遅れなんですよ。
When you hang me and find out I'm a human, it'll all be too late.
橋本さんは僕が怪しいと確信していて皆さんの同意を得るために僕をとりあえずくくろうと提案していますが
Hashimoto-san is certain that I'm suspicious and is suggesting you just hang me so you could see it as he does.
それは実質僕を信じるかあなたを信じるかの間違えば即死の究極の二択を強いてることに他ならない。
But the choice between believing me and believing him is a choice between life and death.
皆さんは僕を信用せず彼を信用しているかもしれませんが究極の二択を選ぼうとしている自覚はありましたか？
You might trust him more than you do me, but are you aware of the weight this decision carries?
彼がそう仕向けたことに同じように信頼を向けていられますか？
Can you trust the idea that he's led you to such a fork in the road?
今日
Silence.
僕を生かして香織さんをくくり僕が明日生きていられれば僕はもう一人人か狼を特定できる。
If you let me live and hang Kaori-san, and if I live to tomorrow, I will reveal another human or wolf.
メイコ以外の人を確定できればその時点で人の勝利は確定。
If we know who all the humans besides Mako are, human victory would be assured.
狼が見つかった場合もう一日生き延びないといけないがその後人の勝利が確定します。
If I find another wolf, I would have to survive another day, but after that, again, human victory would be certain.
くくられる人は3人殺される人はあと2人これで殺戮は終わります。
3 people would be hanged, 2 would be killed, and with that, this massacre would be over.
僕を信じて生かしてくれれば
All you have to do is trust me and let me live.
橋本さん正論に聞こえますけどどうなんです？
Hashimoto-san, his logic seems sound, but what do you think?
しまったな。メイコちゃんをつい人側でカウントしちゃってた。僕が言い出したのにな。無地なのこと。
Oh dear, I accidentally counted Mako-chan as a human, and I'm the one who mentioned the badger.
橋本さんは僕を信用していない。しかしあと1日は少なくとも生かす必要がある。そうですね。
You don't trust me, but don't you think you should let me live at least one more day?
いや、それは違うでしょ。
No, I don't actually. No, I love that so much. He's just like, no.
何がです？
Why?
君の論はつまり、今狼が4票持っているのだから、狼の票を確実に削らなきゃならないってこと。
What you're saying is basically that the wolves have 4 votes, and we have to lower that number.
狼3人は誰だかわからない。君を信じるなら織部さんだ。しかし君を信じないなら彼女じゃなく君だ。
We don't know who the wolves are. If we believe you, it's Oribe-san, but if we don't, it's not her, but you.
君の言葉をそっくり借りれば君だって究極の選択をさも無害そうに伝えているだけじゃないかい。
You are self-aware enough to understand that you're also pushing them into a grave choice that could kill them, right? What a counterattack.
僕は確実に彼女が
Shit,
狼
he's
だ
too
と
smart.
知って言っています。
He just said the same
あ
thing
な
I
たの
did.
自信が7割なら僕は10割です。
I'm completely certain that she's the wolf, while your confidence in your idea is 70%, mine is 100.
しかし他の人はもちろん10割では信じられないよね。
But the same can't be said about the rest.
多分気づいてるんだろう。今日の敗北を防ぐ誰でも納得できる唯一の方法は。
You probably already noticed it, but there's a way to prevent the humans' defeat today, and one everyone would accept.
メイコちゃんを処刑することだ。
It's lynching Mako-chan. Everyone slowly looked at the girl. Bah! He wasn't wrong. It was hard to accept, but yeah. But but it was also something we wolves would have to do to emerge victorious. Also, if we had her die this feast, we could have Kaori-san with us for another day. No, that wasn't good. Kaori-san had to die today. She could go out of control, and on top of that, if I didn't prove my legitimacy as a snake, Hashimoto's argument would see me killed tomorrow. Wait, there's nothing we would learn from killing the little girl. If she really is the badger, the crow would only find out that she was human. The snake would reveal another one of us, but the truth would still be a mystery. Isn't that ultimately just putting off the same decision? Well, there's no guarantee that the snake would survive this night. In fact, it's very unlikely. Aren't we already in a situation where our fates are outside of our hands? No need to be pessimistic yet. The spider could still be alive. I see. If the spider protects Fusaishi-san, the snake would survive the night. We can hear what Asana has to say tomorrow and decide whether to hang him then. It helped Yoshi too, so maybe we really should hang Meiko-chan. He was the only one to whom today's vote would have a different meaning. He had a choice between believing the snake or Yudai Hashimoto and his mother. Wait, are you really going to kill this little girl? What's the difference at this point? We've already killed 3 people. We don't even know why she's siding with the wolves. Shouldn't we try talking to her first? Meiko, you must not believe the wolves. I hate you. Get a grip, Meiko-chan. You're a human. If you side with the wolves, they will kill you. I won't die.
Na, Meiko, 君は狼に本当に味方するのか?
Hey, Meiko, will you really help the wolves? You big dummy! I couldn't get a read on her at all. Why was I the only one she was so antagonistic to? Crap. They could just believe me. Hanging Kaori Uribe would really remove a wolf. That would make me more trustworthy since the crow would reveal his mother's identity and everyone would accept the tragic truth. Failure meant death. This wasn't a case of high risk, high reward. It was all or nothing. A matter of life and death. However, I really was out of options here. Allow me to suggest something. I'd already used up all the info I had and said everything I could. First, let's choose between whether we hang Meiko or either Fusaishi-kun or Uribe-san.
前者は延命、後者は究極の決断。よく承知の上、選んでください。
The former is a time extension, while the latter is a choice between victory and defeat. Keep that in mind when choosing.
もし前者が選ばれた場合、そのまま実行。後者が選ばれたなら、もう一度、久石君と織部さんの決戦投票。
If the former wins, we simply do it, but if the latter wins, we vote on whether we hang Fusashi-kun or Uribe-san.
待ってよ。他の人に投票はできないの？
Wait, we can't vote for anyone else?
下手に票を散らすと狼に収票されてひっくり返される可能性がある。
If we let the votes spread out, the wolves could take control by voting together.
すでに人は一人も失えない状況なんだ。
We can't lose a single human right now. He didn't have to worry about that. After all, both suspects were wolves. However, his emphasis on how heavy the choice would be probably made everyone partial to hanging Mako. What was I to do next? How would I deal with the aftermath of killing Mako?
もう一つ、すでに実質的にはそうなっていますが、司会は橋本さんがすべきでしょう。
Another thing, it's already kind of happening, but I think you should be in charge right now.
異論がなければそうしよ
If no one objects, certainly. As if anyone would.
う。では最初の投票を取ろう。植松さん、申し訳ないが。
Then let's hold the first vote. Uematsu-san, if you please.
春明様、筆を。
Haruaki-sama. The brush, please. I gave it back to her. Excuse me, I gave it back to her. With that, I've been reduced to a mere suspect.
それではメイコちゃんを処刑するという方は。
Now, those who want to lynch Mako-chan, please.
待ちなさいよ。
Wait,
なんでしょう、香織さん。
what is it, Kaori-san?
メイコをくくる気でしょ。みんな。
You're all planning to hang Mako, aren't you? Everyone looked at each other. That was probably the consensus, but no one understood why she was asking that.
何か問題ですか？
Is there a problem with that?
そんなの。
That's just...
困るわ。死ねないじゃない。
That just won't do. I won't be able to die. Crap. A moment later, she jumped up and faced Yoshitsugu-kun.
それなら私は吉嗣を殺すわ。
Then I'll kill Yoshitsugu! She then extended her hands before her. Huh? What?
安永みたいにおとなしく死んで。
Die like Yasunaka did! She reached for her son's neck. The next moment, she was blown away. Oh shit. Hashimoto-san tackled her as fast as he could. It was incomparable to Takumi-san's tackle from last time. The weight and momentum was on a whole other level. It's like being tackled by an actual mountain. Do you do sumo?
アメリカンフットボールだよ。
American football! Yeah, say that again. Let me get that again. I like how he said it.
アメリカンフットボールだよ。
American football. Football. American football. He plays American football. Smart, charismatic, and strong, huh? The guy just had no weaknesses at all. But...
おふくろ、てめえ、おふくろに何すんだ。
Mom, hey, what are you doing to her?
バカ者。
Nick, get away, you fool.
あ
Huh?
リカコさん、縄を。
Rakako-san, get the rope.
こっち押さえます。
I'll hold her down. Everyone was calm. They all methodically handled the sudden threat. Kaori Uribe lost consciousness and was tied up. Everyone started the vote without her. The only one who voted to hang Mako was Yoshitsugu Uribe. Thus, we moved on to the final vote. Haruaki Fusashi only got votes from Yoshitsugu Uribe and Mako. Kaori Uribe got the remaining 7. Everyone calmly decided to lynch Kaori Uribe. Oh, thank you for the outburst, Kaori. Thank you for your service. Yoshitsugu, Yoshitsugu.
お願いだから一緒に死んで。
Please, I beg you, die with me. She wailed those and similar things all the way to the hanging pine. The tackle left her with a few broken bones and dislocated joints, so she couldn't stand by herself anymore. That sucks. Thus, Hashimoto-san had to carry her under his arm. Yoshisuke-kun was with us too, but only because Haru-chan was dragging him along. He looked like his soul had left his body. It seemed like he wanted to avoid looking into her eyes or hearing her voice.
妻子君に同様のことを押し付けようとした僕は責任を取らねばならないのだろうね。
As someone who pushed something like this on Fusaishi-kun, I have to take responsibility.
織部香織さん、
Kaori Oribe-san.
苦しい思いをさせすみません。
I'm sorry for making this so hard for you. Yoshisugu, 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 Yoshi. With the noose on her neck right before she was thrown into the mist, she stopped screaming and looked at me. There was no madness in her eyes. Her mind was clear. I felt like that was her way of telling me to fulfill my promise. A fall. A quiet shriek.
参ったな。
Oh dear.
人を殺しちゃったよ。
I killed a person. He made that simple and extremely belated observation. The son, now both an orphan and an only child, collapsed to his knees. Kaori-san. She kept her promise. Most of that, no. All of it may have been an act. If she hadn't done that, it was likely that Meiko would have been hanged. And tomorrow, it would have been my turn. I was both thankful and apologetic to her. After all, I couldn't fulfill my promise yet. Without its owner, the dining hall had become an extremely empty place. It felt like its soul had left this world, or like its mind was elsewhere. It was noon, yet no one had eaten anything yet. I volunteered to make something, but Kinosuke said that they couldn't trust me yet, so I refrained. The one who picked up the responsibility was Hashimoto-san. He could cook, too. He's just a man of many talents! As it turned out, not really. He just made some plain vegetables, boiled with some basic seasonings. It wasn't anything delicious. He wasn't perfect. He was simply a human who was a bit more fearsome than the rest. We couldn't leave the dining hall for the whole day. Yoshisuke-kun wanted to be alone, yet but the poor guy wasn't even granted that. With the state he was in, everyone was worried that he would pull something, so they didn't make an exception even for him.
なんであんな小煩悩なお母さんが息子殺しなんてできるの?
How can a doting mother like that kill her own son? She said that when he went to the bathroom. It was an extremely normal question from a normal person. If Chiemi was alive, she'd have probably said something like, "No one can resist God." I can now vaguely understand those words. The thing binding the people of Yasumisu, the thing lying dormant within Haru-chan, felt like it was closer than ever, just beyond the mist. Of course, no one answered Mamiya-san's question. There was something I wanted to ask Mochi. It wasn't something I could ask in public, though, and I didn't get a chance to have a secret chat with him.
まだ君を警戒している人がいるから、まっすぐ家に戻ったと僕が証言しよう。
There are still people who are wary of you, so I will testify that you went back home and stayed there. When it was time to call it a day, he put some pressure on me.
警戒してるのはあなたでしょ?
You're the one who's wary of me.
さあ、どうかな。
Maybe. Who knows?
いろんな心配が全部無駄だったら、どんなにいいことだろうね。
How great would it be if all of my worries were baseless? I agree with him on that. He was right about a lot of things. However, he couldn't leverage it well. And this was despite his persuasiveness and connections. Why'd he lose? One of the reasons was underestimating the madness controlling Yasumisu and the unity the wolf shared. And another reason was my ability to cheat, death looping. Looking back at it, I'd made it this far despite failing to kill Yasunaga-kun once. I couldn't have cleared this game in one go if I didn't have the ability to use trial and error. Even so, the end was near. Dusk.
殺すのは
We're killing
橋本雄大だ。
Yudai Hashimoto. Damn. They don't even give Kaori's wish a thought. They're like, well, she's dead. I hope she comes back as a ghost and haunts them. We found the opportunity to kill him, and we took it. The process was the same as always. We used the nearby farming tools to cut, stab, and crush him thoroughly. I wanted a more effective method, honestly. That was probably why Yasunaga-kun killed Takumi-san with a gun the first time around. Is killing Hashimoto here just very short-sighted? Because he's a confirmed monkey, right? So it's not, well, not like that. But, like, obviously his role is not very important. The only reason the wolves would kill him is if he the wolves would want to kill him because he seemed very persuasive, right? But who was he that whole last round being persuasive against? Haruaki. And shouldn't the remaining people, no matter how frazzled they are, be like, okay, well, seems like we should go after him because, I don't know. It depends on how, I don't know. The remaining people that are left are quite the ragtag of people, right? Like, it's Chikamochi, and he'll probably vote for me. It's Kiyonosuke, who, I don't know, probably the most level-headed at that point. I mean, unless unless Haruaki thinks he's so safe because he called Kaori a wolf, and she turned out to be a wolf, and the crow will be able to confirm that that was a wolf. If he thinks that's going to be so much protection for him. And is he going to maybe just try to paint the picture of like, all right, well, this is the round we get out Mako, because that's a voting number. Because then, let me try to do the math. They have then at that point 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people after this death here. If they have 8 and then they kill Mako, that's 7. If they hang Mako, that's 7. And then a wolf's kill again, and it goes down to 6. So it'd be 2 to 4. 4 humans, 2 wolves. I don't know. I guess at the end of the day, they probably just want to kill Hashimoto because he was going to make the argument in the next round to not just choose Mako, right? He was going to be like, we should again kill Haruaki. Whatever. I wanted a more effective method, honestly. That's probably why Yasunaga-kun killed Takumi-san with a gun the first time around. However, I didn't want the method to give me away, and I wanted to prevent any dying messages like the one Chiemi had falsified in that previous loop. Making an absolute mess of the body seemed like the most reasonable method. Was that thought born of madness? Of course it was. It was pure insanity. I ran circles in my mind to try and keep it stable enough to make at least somewhat rational decisions. Tearing apart the mountain of flesh was extremely hard work. Oh! Once done with it, Haruchen and I went back. Our discussion for what we'd do tomorrow was simple. Yoshisuga-kun would use his crow powers to prove that Kaori-san was a wolf. That would prove that I was the real snake. I mean, some people have got to be able to rub some brain cells together and be like, hey, that could have just been a self-preservation move, you know? A snake definitely or a fake snake that's a wolf would know that Kaori was a wolf and could just throw that wolf under the bus kind of thing, but whatever. That would prove that I was the real snake. We'd hang a random somebody tomorrow and use the night to finally get rid of the crow. The day after tomorrow, there'd be 6 people left. Oh, it's running through the numbers I just did in my head. With the badger on our side, we'd have 3 votes. Oh yeah, I guess technically. I'm just unconvinced by this Mako thing. There's got to be something weird bubbling, right? I think we're being thrown for a loop about the whole, oh, she's definitely a badger thing. Something's up with her. Is Mako really the badger?
多分ね。実際は
I'm
狼だっ
unconvinced.
て明かしたところでちゃんと裏切ってくれるか怪しいけど。
Most likely. Though, I'm not sure if she's actually betrayed the humans if we revealed that we're the wolves.
なんであいつ僕を目の敵にしてんのかな。
Why is she so antagonistic toward me?
乙女心じゃない？
She's a maiden.
は？
Huh?
なんでもない。まあ多分大丈夫だと思うけど。
Nothing. Well, I think it'll be alright.
それでも万全の備えをするならメイコに頼りたくないよね。
But, to be sure, we should depend on something more reliable.
うん。その通り。その場合、植松里香子か野里清之助をくくって夜に。
Yeah, exactly. We should kill Rikako Uematsu or Kurinosuke no Sato and use the night to
モッチーを殺すのね。
kill Mochi, right?
大丈夫かい？
You okay?
もう慣れた。
I'm used to it.
私も変わったな。
Boy, have I changed.
人殺しに慣れちゃった。
I'm actually used to killing now.
もう普通の人生は送れないかな。
I wonder if I'll be able to live a normal life after this.
罪を償ってうんぬんって道もある。君は未成年だし。
You can atone for your sins or whatever. You're still underage.
春秋は死刑なんじゃない？
Would you be facing capital punishment?
どうかな。まあ、やむを得ない殺人とは認めてもらえない気がするけど。
I don't know. Though I doubt they'd think it was involuntary manslaughter.
それなら逃げようよ。
Then let's run away.
昨日、そんな話をしてたね。
We talked about that yesterday, right?
どうせ罪はそんなに変わらないよ。
The sin is the same either way.
どうかな。
Is it now?
どうなってもまた会えるよね。
We'll meet again no matter what, right?
ごめん。言い直す。
Sorry. Let me rephrase that.
どうなっても
Oh!
一緒にいるから。
I'll be with you no matter what. She was making less and less sense to me.
僕に惚れたとか言い出すなよ。かっこ悪いから。
Don't say that you've fallen for me. It's uncool.
それは言い出さない。かっこ悪いから。
Don't worry. I won't. It's uncool. Huh? Wow. I've set her on the path of evil. Scolding her for something now is extremely uncool.
うざったかったらしないよ。
I won't say it if it'll bother you.
別に
Hey,
好きにすればいいよ。それが悪の特権。
you should just do what you want. That's one of the perks of being evil.
じゃあ好きにする。
Then I'll just do what I want.
ああ、
Good.
キスを教えて。
How about a kiss? No. No. No.
いきなりあいつが出てこないなら。
As long as she doesn't show up.
身持ちの固いお方であらせられるの。
Surprisingly formal, are we?
はい、ダメ。
And there went your chance.
ケチ。
You're so stingy. So fucking weird. We parted ways. It was all smooth sailing from here. Yudai Hashimoto was dead, and Kaori-san, the most problematic wolf, ended up leaving the stage in the best of ways. All that was left were some throwaway feasts. I thought we were on a roll, and soon discovered how naive I was. It's never that simple. It's never that simple. 5:18, Sunday. Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Oh. Oh, she's pissed. Hashimoto-san. Strangely enough, Mamiya-san didn't lose her composure upon seeing the pile of gore Hashimoto-san was reduced to. She stood frozen in place and her voice was shaking, but that was it. The image of a woman trying to bear the shock and pain was both beautiful and moving. It seemed disingenuous to say that, considering I was the one responsible for her suffering, but I couldn't help how I felt. However, what she did next sent a chill down my spine. She ignored Hashimoto-san's body and walked over to a shirt Hashimoto-san had left lying in a corner of the hut. She moved the shirt to the side, exposing a camera. Were we recorded? Had he planned this with Mamiya-san ahead of time? I hadn't taken any precautions against that. While dismantling the body, we'd even talked to each other. She skillfully manipulated the camera. Did I have to destroy it now? No, I have no excuses for that. The charade would be over. Maybe we could try going wild like we Chiemi and Mochi did. I think that we is not supposed to be there. Maybe we could try going wild like Chiemi and Mochi did. I forgot how cool of a picture this was. What was the point of that? I had to survive. If I went wild by myself, Haru-chan would... Again, what would be the point of that? She was just a girl you'd find anywhere. She got into a different situation, accepted a difficult reality, and learned from it just like anyone else. Or anyone would. Even though it was hardly a normal form of growth, it was charming and beautiful to us men. That much was obvious. But was it... But... Sorry. That much was obvious, but was it worth protecting with my own life? That question had to be answered with a no. However, I turned around and looked at Haru-chan standing at the end of the group. She had a knife in her hand. Oh. I slightly shook my head. After a moment of hesitation, she returned it back to the murder scene. It was a foldable knife covered in blood, belonging to Hashimoto-san. I picked it up and used it when we were dismantling the body. No, that didn't mean anything to us. If I hadn't turned around, Haru-chan would have surely went wild on her own. She was obviously going to protect me like that, even if it meant getting herself hanged. Oh man, I really liked that, but I'd finally found the theoretical justification for scolding her properly. Up until this point, I'd still thought it important to consider what I'd do with her after the feast was over. I'd felt responsible for promoting her growth and making sure the evil girl blossomed properly. In the end, though, the emergency before us was no emergency at all. Sigh. No good.
定点撮影ですか？大胆ですね。何か映ってました？
A fixed camera? That's pretty bold. What did it show?
何も。ただ、遺体が延々と映ってるだけ。
Nothing. Just the body. She threw the camera to me. I checked, and apparently it was a 2-hour-long record. A 2-hour-long record starting at 9 in the evening. The wolves' work started at 10. Hashimoto-san was as sharp as always. He even got the time right. I played the footage back, and like she said, it just showed a body. It was supposed to show him alive at the start, then show us in wolf outfits come at about 10 start committing the murder. However, the video only showed a mound of flesh and bone lit up by the electric light. Was the time within which the wolves' work cut off from the rest of the world? Control through sleep, transformation through the through the real story, mist, corruption, death loops, and digital video problems. Was all this connected to God? In this timeline, I'd gained a bunch of important info that brought me closer to the truth. That gave me a bad feeling, though. What if the truth and the subject of fear were one and the same? What if I never reached the truth? A limitless mystery meant limitless fear. God, look how small this group is now. Mom. I mean, Hashimoto took up a large chunk of the screen, right? And then, then we lost Kaori there on the left. Was a wolf. Everyone reacted with relief or surprise. Yoshisuga-kun and I had reached the same conclusion. He seemed like the real thing, and it was hard. He seemed like the real thing, and it was hard to believe both of us were wolves. That meant that I told the truth, making me the real snake. I found another wolf today. It's Kiyonosuke no Satoshi. Thus, my lies would work. What?
そんなバカな。私は人だ。なるほど、そういうことか。妻子春明。貴様がやはり狼だったのだな。
I can't be. I am human. I see how it is, Haruaki Fusaishi. You were a wolf all along. And that was why his overreaction seemed like the pathetic struggling of a wolf. All that was left for me to do was lie until the end.
僕は嘘は言ってない。
I'm not lying.
ああ、こいつは本当のことを言ってた。
Yeah, he said the truth.
そうか。貴様、自分が生き残るために仲間の狼を切り捨てたのだな。
I see. So you got rid of one of the wolves just so you could survive?
リカコさん、あなたは狼ではないのでしょう。
Akako-san, you're no wolf, are you?
ええ。
No, I'm not. Now, I think there could be a I don't know if this is going to be the problem that this game presents, but like, let's say the spider's still alive. Let's say Nasato gets hanged, and then we go after the crow because the crow would be able to get us in trouble if he researched Nasato, right? Or he did, if he, you know, comes back and says, Nasato, you know, whatever. Although I guess they're probably thinking, I mean, okay, so based on the previous discussion, they still think they have Mako's vote as a badger, which would then make it 3-3 and it wouldn't matter necessarily. But I could see with this unfolding where Mako isn't the badger, they don't have her vote, they go to another round of this, and if they don't kill Yoshitsugu, then he's going to be like, oh, we just hung a human. Of course, Haruaki's the problem. And then you, the viewers, say, but Austin, wouldn't they have killed Yoshitsugu so the crow? But that doesn't matter because I think that the spider might still be alive. And I think the spider then knows the best play here is to protect the crow, so that the crow could say, even if they kill off Nasato here, the crow could be like, nope, that was a lie. And then they get him. Anyway, Akako says, no, I'm not. Miss Mamiya, you?
私はね。
Well, they both looked at each other with suspicion. There were only 2 wolves left, Kinosuke and someone besides themselves.
まあ野里さんの疑いもそりゃわかるけれどね。
Well,
残り6人。狼は多分2人でムジナが1人。
well, I understand your suspicions. There's only 6 people left. 2 are wolves and 1 is the badger.
狼をくくらなきゃおしまい。相変わらず究極の選択で手がかりはこれ見よがしない蛇のケージのみ。
It won't end until all the wolves are hanged. Choices are hard to make, and we all have to rely on are on the snake's messages. And all we have to rely on are on the snake's messages.
そして昨日亡くなったのが久石君に敵対的だった橋本さん。
Also, the one who died last night was Hashimoto-san, who was antagonistic toward Fusaishi-kun last night.
僕と橋本さんは敵対してたわけじゃありませんよ。合理的に考えれば僕に疑うべきところがあっただけです。
We weren't what I'd call enemies. His suspicions had a reasonable basis.
事実、昨日は彼も最終的には香織さんに投票されています。
In the end, even he voted for Kaori-san yesterday.
それは彼女の言動から確実かつ迅速に排除すべきが彼女だと判断せざるを得なかったからでしょ。
He probably decided that she was a danger who had to be removed from the feast as soon as possible.
彼は最後まであなたに対しては警戒を怠るなと言っていたわ。
He said I should be wary of you until the very end.
香織さんにしたってあなたが仲間である彼女に命じて自滅的な行動を取らせたという可能性もあるでしょ。
It's entirely possible that you'd order Kaori-san to do something self-destructive.
間宮さんは僕や橋本さんと同じく人間ってものはそう簡単には狂わないってスタンスだと思ってました。
Mamiya-san, I thought you were with me and Hashimoto-san on the opinion that people aren't driven mad so easily.
これだけ実例見せられたらもう十分よ。あなたについては最初からどういう人となりだったかも知らないしね。
I've seen more than enough counter-arguments for that here, and it's possible that you were like that from the start.
あなたが平然と彼女にそういう命令ができるほど狂ってて、彼女がそれを受け入れるほど狂ってた可能性はある。
You could be insane enough to order her to do it like it was nothing. She could have been insane enough to comply.
そしてもしそうなら私たちは見事に騙されることになる。
And if that's true, we're being played like fiddles.
もうたくさんだ。
I've had enough.
もうたくさんですよ。何をやっても疑われるのは。
I've had enough of being suspected no matter what I do.
当たり前だ。貴様は偽物なのだから。
Of course you would be. You're a fake snake!
あなたこそが人の偽物でしょうが。僕とあなたは同類だ。信用もない、人望もない。どこまでも異端分子。
And you're a fake human. We're the same. No one trusts either of us. We're unpopular outcasts.
おお、どっちが勝つかな。
Ooh, who'll win this one?
貴様、近持ち。
Chikamochi, you little...
私は久石さんを信じるよ。私のことを人だって言ってるし。
I'll believe Fusaishi-san. He even said that I'm human.
そっか。僕はハッサンは超怪しいと思うな。勘だけど。
Really? My intuition tells me that Hassan's pretty shady.
マミヤ女子は彼を信じないということで良いのかね。
Miss Mamiya, can I assume you don't believe him? She was conflicted, obviously.
リカコさん、あなたは。
Rikako-san, you...
私は狼が狼をほふったとは考えづらいです。
I find it hard to believe that a wolf got rid of a wolf.
いやしかし、私から見ればそれが起きたと考えるしか。
But from my perspective, that's exactly what happened.
狼は親子3匹。その間にも特別な絆がありましょう。
The wolves are two mates and a child. There must be a strong bond between them.
私たちが霧を恐れ宴を敬い休みずのためにくくられることを是とするように。
While we fear the mist, respect the feast, and find it acceptable to hang others for Yasumisu.
狼の方、他の狼を利しかばい守ることを是とするはずです。
The wolves would most likely help and protect one another. That may have been the original intent.
それならなおさら香織さんが犠牲的精神でああやったのかも。
Then maybe that was Kaori-san's self-sacrifice for the other wolves.
違うっつんだよ。
Like hell!
おふくろは狼にされて兄貴も殺さねえとなんねえで、それで狂っちまったんだよ。
She was made into a wolf, forced to kill Aniki, and went insane.
ただそれだけだ。それ以上の悪どいことなんて考えてねえ。
That's it. She wasn't thinking any evil shit. That's probably how I'd have been if I were a local. Perhaps Kaori-san might have been thinking something like that too. She died because of a bargain. Her giving up on life and my sinister plotting. If Rikako-san was right, and there was some sort of bond between the wolves, it didn't apply to us outsiders. Shami had proven that last time, when she cruelly used an outsider wolf as a sacrifice. Anyway, now that I had Rikako-san's and Yoshisuke-kun's vote, I couldn't lose now. I had no idea what Mochi would do, but he could easily vote as we wanted him to, despite knowing it was a mistake. There was no need to worry.
メイコちゃん、どっちに投票する？
Meiko-chan, who are you voting for?
おじちゃん、狼？
Mister, are you a wolf?
違うと言っているだろう。
I'm saying I'm not!
お兄ちゃんは人よね。
But, Oni-chan, you're human?
僕は猿だ。つまり人だ。
I'm a monkey. That means I'm human.
お姉ちゃん。
One-chan,
私も人です。
I am human as well.
ふさゆきさん。
Fusayuki-san,
僕は人なんだ。
I'm a human.
君は狼の味方をしたいのかもしれないけど、だったら僕は君の味方にはなれない。
If you want to be friends with the wolves, then I can't be friends with you. But...
メイコ、お願い目を覚まして。
Meiko, please, Wake up. I hate you. Mako is actually kind of manageable. We continued to argue for a while, but no one provided anything decisive. Noon came, and everyone became even hungrier and exhausted. Even so, no one said that we should vote because it was clear to us all that the results would be inconclusive. If it continued like this, no one would be hanged, human or wolf. That'd mean their defeat. But anyone who suggested that we not vote would be considered a wolf. Thus, the only one who suggested we end it was Mako, but only because she was hungry. Time passed by and we didn't get anywhere. I'm hungry. How many times are you gonna say that, brat? We do not have much time. We must clean up as well. If we do not end it fast, it'll be bad for us. You want the humans to lose just like that? The same will happen if we hang.
間宮さん、頼みます。あなたが信じてくれれば。
Mamiya-san, please, you just have to believe me. What am I supposed to do here?
僕もいい加減疲れてきたな。なんでみんな票取んないの？
I'm getting tired here. Why aren't we voting yet anyway?
わからぬ者は黙っていろ。
If you don't know, shut up.
おっちゃんには期待してないもん。ハッサン、なんで？
But I don't expect anything from you. Hassan, why aren't we voting?
僕に投票したいであろう人と野里さんに投票したいであろう人が数が同じだからさ。
Because the amount of people who'd vote for me and those who'd vote for him is the same.
ヨッシーとハルちゃんとリッちゃんとハッサンがおっちゃんに投票。
So Yoshi, Haru-chan, Ri-chan, and Hassan would vote for Uncle. I see.
あ、じゃあ僕がおっちゃんに投票すれば解決すんじゃないか。早く言ってよもう。
Why didn't anyone tell me that it'd all be over if I just voted for him too?
待て、それは人の敗北につながる道だ。
No, wait. That would lead to the humans' defeat.
まあ、どうせ負けるんならパッパと負けようよ。いいんじゃない？狼が勝ってもさ。
If we're gonna lose, let's just get it over with. Who cares if the wolves win?
鴨志田様、猿の加護者がおっしゃることではありません。
Kamoshida-sama, that is not something the monkey should say.
しょうがないよ。僕は桔梗の。
Whatever. I'm an eccentric.
そっくりだ。
You're just like him.
え？
Huh? Kinoskishi's quiet, sad voice drew everyone's attention, not just Mochi's.
お前はそっくりだよ。先々先代、お前の高祖父殿に。
You're just like the head of the family from 3 generations ago. Your great-great-grandfather.
どういうことです？
What do you mean?
野里家は長者では3番目の序列。1位の身車、2位の樋口とは格も資産も大きく及ばない。
The Nosato family is third in terms of importance. The Migurama are first, Higuchi are second, and our standing in wealth doesn't even compare to theirs.
家業たる本草学、医術の知識にしても変遷する時代の中で次第に意味を失ってきたものだ。
With the recent advances in medicine, herbalism, our family trade grew useless over the years.
それでも我々が長者家として今も流らえているのは、我々がカラスの精神を持って勉学と研究に励んだからだ。
However, we continue to survive as a head family because we focused on study and research following the mentality of the crow.
カラスの精神？
Mentality of the crow?
爪を食ろうては技を盗み、目を食ろうては文を盗み、 舌を食ろうてはことを盗むべし。
Devour the claws and steal the skills. Devour the eyes and steal the writings. Devour the tongue and steal the words.
そう不死よしに捧ぐるがカラスの志なり。
Offering those up to Fushioshi shall be as the will of the crow. That's really hard for me to say for some reason.
なんて最近の言葉だから間違いだってパパは言ってたぜ、おっちゃん。
Uncle, Daddy said that mentality is a new word, so it's actually wrong.
上げ足を。とにかく屍を食い、知識を盗むような真似をしてでも勉学に励み、里に献身すべしとの教えだ。
Do not bother me with that. Anyway, it means that we must contribute to our homeland through learning, even if it means preying on the dead and stealing knowledge.
不死吉藤吉の米
Fushioshi? Is that the old name for Fujiyoshi?
今なんか関係あんのかよそれ。
How's that related?
失礼したわ。
Sorry.
我々は西洋医学にも機械にも技術にも多岐に先んじて学び励むことで生き延びた。
We survived by learning Western medicine, engineering, and technology before the other families.
ご立派です。植松とは大違いで。
Most excellent. How unlike the Uematsu.
伝統の重荷ばかりを負わされたあなた方には申し訳なく思っています。
You have my sympathies for growing up with nothing but the burden of tradition.
とにかくそのようになりふり構わず学ぶ姿勢が我々を生きながらえさせたが、一度その屋台骨が崩れかけたことがあった。
Now, we survived through our dedication to learning, but there was a moment when the entire structure almost fell apart.
それが先々先代の時だった。あれは狂っていた。同時にずば抜けた俊英ではあった。
That was the time of the head of the family from 3 generations ago. He was insane, but at the same time an unparalleled genius.
積極的に村の外に出ては常人には理解の及ばぬ投資や起業を繰り返し、大戦をも正気として蓄財を重ねていった。
He amassed incredible wealth by leaving the village and investing in businesses and markets no normal person could understand. Even the war was a business opportunity for him.
しかしその後、すべての証文や権利書をどこぞに放棄し、かねてより用意していた安水の屋敷に引きこもったのだ。
But soon after that, he threw away all contracts and deeds and shut himself in his mansion in Yasumizu.
火の車に陥った本家を尻目に、奴はここで晩年にわたるまで長者の意向によって人倫にもとる振る舞いをし通した。
While the main house was in severe financial distress, he spent the rest of the days here, using his power as a village head to perform inhumane things.
私が知っているのは最晩年の先々先代だが、思いつきで動物を大量に殺して楽しんでいた。お前そっくりだ。
As far as I know, he killed animals by the dozen on a whim, just like you.
おお。
Whoa!
だからこそお前は拝着されたのだ。先々先代の再来、野里家にひいては藤吉に最悪をもたらすと思われてな。
That's why you were disowned. They thought you were the second coming of your great-great-grandfather and that you'd bring ruin to Nasato. No, Fujiyoshi.
そして今もこうしてこの場をいい加減な言説で煙に巻こうとしている。貴様など一票担うに値せんよ。
And now, you're here nonchalantly making a mess of this life and death situation. You don't deserve a single vote.
言うけどカラスの志がおっちゃんのどこにあるのかな。
You say that, but do you have any of the will of the crow in you?
よそかぶれで藤吉をバカにして安水をもっとバカにして別にちゃんと働くでもなくさ。
You remain an outsider, belittle Fujiyoshi, ridicule Yasumizu, and you don't even do proper work.
僕だってみんなのために黙ってることだってあるんだよ。
Even I could sometimes shut up for everyone's sake, you know? Oh, how I wanted him to shut up right now.
ハッサン、
Hassan?
あ
Yes?
僕おっちゃんに票入れるから
I'll vote for Uncle.
安心して投票に移りなよ。
Relax and start the vote.
待って、本当にこれでいいの？
Wait, is that really okay?
うるせえな。てめえも結局てめえで思ってるだけのことをずっと心配してるだけだろうがよ。
Shut up. You spend all this time doing nothing but worry about what you think.
もう時間がありません。
We are running out of time.
これから票を取ります。
Let's start the vote.
そうが
Damn it. Damn it! These were the results. Hisako Mamiya, Kinosuke Nosato, and Meiko voted for Haruaki Fusaishi, while Yoshisuga Ribe, Haru Makishima, Rikako Uematsu, Chikamochi Kamoshida, and Haruaki Fusaishi voted for Kinosuke Nosato. 5 against 3. Excuse me. It was more difficult than I'd expected, but it decided that Kinosuke Nosadashi would be hanged. I think we'll end it there. It's tough. It's hard for me to decide to end it. Because I'm like, obviously, of course, we want to end on a nice autosave little chunk there. But I know it's going to be, for me, again, if you're a VOD watcher on YouTube, it's not going to be this long in between episodes. But for me, it's going to be over like a week till we next pick this up. For me personally. So I'm like, the ultimate cliffhanger, at least a week-long cliffhanger. I mean, I'll make the prediction. I kind of said it earlier. I think obviously Haruaki thinks he's in the clear as the wolf here, and that it's going to be after the hanging here of Nosato and the killing of, let's say, the crow, Yoshisugu. I think he thinks that him and Haru are like, good, it's 3-3, we win because we'll have the badger. I don't think narratively, I think things are not gonna go well again for Haruaki, just because he's like this game's Charlie Brown, basically. He's like this game's fucked up Charlie Brown. I either think she's not. I mean, this is a prediction I'm making for, again, way in the future here for when we pick this up later. But I think she's either not the badger, or maybe she is the badger, but because she's so unruly and doesn't know what she's doing and she's all over the place, maybe it's not like a guaranteed number on their side, even if she is the badger or something. It's going to be some shenanigans or something like that. Like, that's where my head is thinking. Like, I just think it's not going to be like, I could even see him thinking he has the win, so much so that he acts like cocky and he like comes out and he's like, yeah, it was me who fucking orchestrated this whole thing and now we win, and then like to be undone by just little old Mako. I think seems like the likely outcome in my head, right? That's my prediction. But I won't know for forever. Might as well be forever. It's a shame, really. And that'll do it for the stream. Like I said, I will be away from video games for some time. I've got a trip. I've got a friend's wedding I'm traveling and flying for. And then spending some days outside of the wedding just for myself. I'm gonna, I don't know, explore the New York, New Jersey area for the first time in my life. I'm kind of excited about it. But not quite yet. Tomorrow I still have work, and then I'm taking tomorrow evening and night to finish up packing and getting anything else I need in order to get done around my apartment before I leave for like a week. So that's why I'm not streaming tomorrow. And then I leave Wednesday afternoon, so I'm not gonna like stream Wednesday morning or something. And then I said before, I'll be back. I fly back in on Sunday. I just don't see myself streaming on Sunday. after I probably, you know, would probably just take that day off still. I'm not going to try to like rush back or anything. So I'd probably be back on Monday. So a good old, obviously today as of recording, this is a Monday, and then I'll probably be back on Monday. So I guess it's technically not a week. It's like 6 days. I think the math checks out to be. When I do come back, like I said, we'll have when I come back, it'll be like 2 more weeks in April. I'm really, like I said, I'm really hoping to finish Raging Loop by the time before April's done. That might take like, on a weekend, we do like I don't want to sound dramatic or drastic. Maybe it's not necessary, but like a 9-hour long stream of Raging Loop. Am I crazy enough to do something like that? Am I focused enough to do something like that? But we'll also have some new games and stuff. Games I've talked about, teased about, I guess I should say. When I come back, we'll also do the first episode and second episode at some point of The Devil, because we did episode 0 a couple days ago. Definitely recommend checking that out if you're caught up on Raging Loop here and any other visual novel on my channel. You're either also somehow caught up on or not interested in. You could definitely if you're looking for something new, recommend Of the Devil episode 0 that we did in one stream a day or 2 ago. 2 days ago, I guess, maybe. Because we'll be continuing that. Other than that, I hope you have a nice rest of your night and week ahead. Like I said, if you're just a pure, strictly strict VOD watcher, you won't even really notice any difference. But you won't see me on Twitch at all here for the next week. So have a great week. Survive the world. Everyone must survive at least until I come back a week from now. Nobody change. And yeah, I'll be back in a week. It'll feel weird. I remember even I stream so frequently that I'm at the point where if I even take 2 days off or 3 days off, it feels very different and weird and foreign coming back. So I'm sure after a week it'll feel weird. But breaks are good. Breaks are necessary. All right. Until way in the future. Have a nice night.